Hey, it's Firefighter Pete with BackDraft Bikes. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to test drive an awesome bike. I've been waiting to share this bike for a while. It is the 2025 Sport Chief from Indian. Let's go. All right, so we're back on the channel and we got a really fun V-twin air-cooled heritage style motorcycle that I can't wait to ride with you. It's the 2025 Indian Sport Chief with the 116 air-cooled engine in it. If you've been following Indian, you know that they're transitioning to a new platform of liquid cooled. Not only can you get better performance out of it, but it's just a more modern engine that's more consistent. However, the Sport Chief is still sporting, pun intended, this air-cooled engine. Not only is it lighter weight, it has more of the rattle and shimmy and shake that the V-twins have. On the Sport Chief for 25 though, there's a bunch of stuff going on that they're doing that is pretty rad. One of the biggest things I think is the incorporation of a speaker system into the bike itself. They've upgraded the brakes. You've got dual Brembos on the front with a forged aluminum rim. As far as suspension goes, you have inverted forks on the front and actual genuine Fox remote reservoir or piggyback style shocks on the back. Of course, you're doing the belt drive that Indian has been doing for years now. And this one also has this ram air cowl type induction air cleaner, which gets in my way as a tall guy, but looks cool and sounds even better. Let's get on this bike and take it for a rip, shall we?
Just get suited up here a little bit. Pretty cool bike. You're getting into the Chief platform, so it's not a Chief Ton because it doesn't have the fairings on it, but it's their full-size frame and a super awesome engine. All right, let's do this. Turn this on. Boom, bang, boom. Power button, and then your start button. They don't incorporate that push button on the side like some of the others do, and they have the key fob cable tied here, so obviously that'd be in your pocket. A little cold-blooded, but that is to be expected with air-cooled bikes. As I said, even if you're a shorter fella, your shin is going to hit this intake thing that sticks off, which is kind of weird. Wow. So the air-cooled, especially with this intake, you can hear it gulping even more so. That guy got arrested too. Another guy got bagged on these demo rides. Woo! Wow. So with the air-cooled, the V-twin power plant that this thing has, you do get that down-low grunt. The other ones that I have on my channel here with the new engine platform that's liquid cooled, I'd say it's still there, but this bike is actually a little bit more noticeable on the very bottom end of the torque spectrum. You can crack this thing and you feel it instantaneously. This is a lower revving engine, so you're going to be redlining at 5,000 RPMs. The other bikes are 6.5 with a soft redline. This bike is open to the atmosphere, even though it does have like a little bit of a sport cowl on it. It's actually, you pretty much get the full blast of the wind, which feels great on a day when it's so hot outside like it is right now. Indian's technology package that they have on this bike as well is the same across pretty much all of their brands that have the round 4-inch TFT display. It's glove friendly for touch, and it has so many different options. Right now we have it set up for RPM with the speed in the middle, but there's a little trigger thing on the right side dash that you can cycle through the modes, and it allows you to see the different dial faces. This also has a very simple control layout. There is a joystick for your music control, a menu up and down cycle. On the right side you do have cruise control, and then of course your power and start and kill switch. So it's super simple to just get on this bike and ride. But again, lots of different options with the technology. One of the things that they're doing as well is you do get your 3 ride modes on this as well. Right now I have it in sport mode, which makes the throttle a little crisper. The suspension on this on the front is not as adjustable as I would like. I don't actually see any adjustments for rebound, but on the rear you could stiffen it up if you wanted to. Although I will say this road is pretty smooth. The next road we're getting on will really be a test to kind of feel how it feels. The seat on this is a little bit more plush than the Scout model, which I've seen actually across the line with Indian. The Scouts are, to me, rather uncomfortable to ride. Get right on the brakes. This is a pretty serious corner and no problem whatsoever slowing down. Very positive engaging on the shift. Yeah, it feels good. There's a good amount of torque on this bike, like I said, but you sacrifice that with the upper revs. I guess it's a trade-off. Do you really need the higher red line for a little bit of difference in the torque curve? It's up, the beauty's in the eye of the beholder, as they say, right? Just to talk a little bit about the power plant on this, it would not surprise me at all if Indian basically shuts this line down and goes right to their liquid cooled. The reason why, number one, it's expensive for manufacturers to run more than one engine line, but the performance that comes out of their liquid cooled engine is really, really good. Actually, it would be a blast to ride it in this bike. I rode it on the Chieftain earlier and I was like literally blown away at how much power it had. It also had down low torque that was pretty amazing as well. So this bike itself, if you're considering purchasing one of these bikes, I absolutely love this package where you've got a small bike that's somewhat comfortable to ride, but leans more towards the sports aggressive rider. So, I mean, this bike rips. As far as handling goes, it's very well balanced. It stops. It has the torque you need, so if you're not into driving 150 miles down the highway, which I am not, and you want to just have an awesome ride down a back road and rip around, this is a fantastic platform to take advantage of. Now, the bike isn't super light, but it's not super heavy. It's 665 pounds dry, so I would probably say 700 pounds by the time you get oil and fuel in it. The 700 pound mark is that's not a light bike. You get into like the Scouts and you're at the 550 mark, but you're not like 800 pounds V-twin cruiser level either. So in my opinion, just in the middle of the road between light and heavy, it's kind of a fun platform. There we go. You can feel it just wants to crack. As soon as you hit the throttle, it makes you grin a little bit. This has a 4-gallon tank, so the smaller versions on this bike, and I keep ping-ponging back between, let me just get by this guy. I keep ping-ponging back between the Scout and this because I think that those are their brother and sister, if you will. The Scouts are a lot smaller. Of course, they have the 999cc entry-level ones now, and they have the 1250s, which they've been using for a while, both liquid-cooled. This bike is a little bit bigger. It's a little bit heavier, but it has a ginormous engine, and I just think the bike is a lot more comfortable. If you're on the fence between getting a Scout because of the sportiness and a Chief, get the Sport Chief. It's the perfect blend in my opinion, and if they put the liquid cooled power plant that they have in the other bikes in this bike, it would be my ultimate bike because it's fast, it's fun, tons of power, has an awesome sound, and it's very responsive. And you can wind it up if you want to. If you get this bike in black, which is actually my preferred color on this bike, everything murdered out in black, it's 20 grand, 19,999 for 25 model year. You change the color on the paint, you end up adding a couple dollars. $20,000 for a bike like this is not a small amount of money. So when you're looking at a $20,000 bike, you're going to be going into the realm of some of the larger cruisers as well. You can get into at the 20K mark. But as far as a Harley Davidson goes, that price point, if you were comparing apples to apples, this is beating them by a few dollars for what you're getting. But you're not getting a Harley. So that's the big thing that everybody always says, well, it's not a Harley, it's an Indian. Yes, it is a Polaris. It's made in the United States. It's an old motorcycle company that got brought back from the dead. So it's a pretty cool story. And the legacy of the Chief, that's a very old model as well. So you're buying into the history. But it's not a Harley. So if the name Harley Davidson is important to you, then you're going to need to go buy a Harley Davidson, because this video isn't going to make you feel any differently. But if you're not cemented to the name Harley and you can explore another brand, you really need to go give one of these guys a test drive, because if you close your eyes, it sounds like a Harley. It feels like a Harley. It performs similar to a Harley, although I feel it performs a little bit better and it's a little bit more comfortable. It's just a different motorcycle, but it's very, very similar, and the price point is a little bit more competitive. So that being said, you know, what are your thoughts on that? What model would you compare this to? I kind of think like this speaks to me like a Fat Bob or maybe a Softail, one of those type of bikes. I feel like it's very similar in feeling. One thing I don't like about this bike, and I already said it once, is this stupid intake thing. I don't know what the performance gain is on it, but my foot I have to like keep my leg bent around it, which I'm not super keen on. And I think anybody that has a leg on the left side is going to have to deal with that. So I'm not sure why you would do that. I would just rather go with a smaller air cleaner and sacrifice a few horses. The bars that this has on it have a little mini riser. I think it's a 6-inch riser, so you could sling these down lower if you wanted to, more cafe style. I think this is a perfect height. This also has the Solo gunfighter seat, but you can get plenty of other different options available. They have plusher models. One thing Indians really step up to the plate with is their factory available options you can buy from them. So they have all the accessories. You can trick the bike out. Right out of the box though, the bike comes pretty well set up. Pretty nice. Little burble on the decel, and this is factory exhaust. This is not an option, like an aftermarket option or a factory option. It's just a factory standard exhaust. Sounds great. Let's go. It's pretty fast. It's not as fast as the liquid-cooled engines, but it is pretty fast, especially if you think about how much reciprocal mass is taking place downstairs right now. But you roll on the throttle, no problem whatsoever. No problem. Really, really nice. Well, what are your thoughts on this? Have you ridden one of these and you were impressed, or did the intake bother you as much as it's bothering me? The other thing too is, what model would you compare this to as a Harley Davidson? I'm thinking more of like a Fat Bob, Softail, something like that. It's the smaller package, not full dresser, but pretty nice. And I mean, this bike goes right down the road really, really nice. Very comfortable to ride. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I appreciate you tuning in, and as always, please ride safe.